Sup? This is WandaVision. I'm Dom,
I'm James.
and we're talking about episode 5. On
Was
a
it?
very special episode, something like that, isn't it called?
Yeah. ... So I assume they're gonna
Yeah.
I assume the next episode will complete it.
Yeah, unless like the next few episodes have a sentence.
Yeah. Like, what do you think? Without talking about the obvious thing.
Alright, yeah, without the obvious thing. So, people have been raving about this episode online, and it got me hyped for it, and then I watched it and I was like...
Yeah. I still enjoy it. I still think it's the best episode, because I feel like this is one... Obviously spoilers. We never say spoilers, but spoilers, obviously.
I wouldn't say it's the best. I would say number 4 is still my personal best.
Yeah.
This is the best because it has like a blend of the two like parts.
Yeah.
And it feels like it's really ramping up now.
And this is the first episode that actually progresses the story,
which is weird.
Since last, which you could sort of say like episodes 1 through 3 and 4, because they all happen at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, that all happens in isolated time. This is the first episode after that, which progresses the story. I think this is a good episode. I think one of the most surprising things is how quick Vision puts it together.
Yeah, but it's interesting because
he puts it straight up together, doesn't he?
Well, I mean, he is very smart, so it does make sense. But it's just how how you're watching him more than anything. Which I think that's probably why I didn't like this episode as much. I wanted to know what was going on with him and Sword,
because he has the most interesting part at the moment.
Yeah, but then it kept cutting back to Wanda and the kids, and I was like, I don't care about this sitcom stuff anymore.
I do, because it's like we're at that time. I think the 80s sitcom was when they started to actually add in the drama properly between the adults of the house. I think that's when they started seeing that through. So I think it's quite cool that they're doing it in this one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like that because, like we keep on saying, that they're using the style, they're using the backdrop of the sitcoms to like even poke fun. Like, look, the first one talked about gender roles, and do you know what I mean? Like, that was the whole thing. The second one sort of did the more like, what's that going to
do? The one thing about the kids in this episode is that they age up, and I feel like it's not really gonna have any impact if they don't age up to like teenagers, because they are for people who know comics, 2 of the founding members of the Young Avengers, so it's like we kind of need to have them at that age. Otherwise, it's not really that interesting at the end.
Talking about the kids and even Agnes, how awkward and sort of off-putting was her forgetting her line?
See, right,
that's cool. I love that stuff.
I messaged you about this earlier because when I watched it again, Wanda does break in that scene, and the kids stop crying, and then the whole episode she's still like in it, essentially. She's not broken.
No.
So I kind of feel like the whole Evan Peters returning at the end,
okay, we'll talk about that.
It is still her, and that's why. So the Agnes part really works.
Agnes, I think it's also I think she is an ally. I think they're very doing like, isn't like Scarlet Witch like meant to be like an allegory of mental health?
She's been a lot of things.
Well, basically this is all about trauma and PTSD. All this series, isn't it? Really, and nostalgia and idealism. Yeah. But like Sword's
Grief.
Obviously look how Sword is treating Wanda and like treating her such, and then look how Agnes is. Like, Agnes is playing along with the game, and I feel like she clearly killed the dog.
She's playing along, but she's also like, the only character we've seen break out apart from Wanda and Monica.
And the guy Vision.
Yeah, but he got
Is it Neil?
activated.
Is it Neil?
Norm. He got
No.
activated though, whereas Agnes didn't. She just happened to kind of go like.
Yeah.
It's too weird. I can't help but just. It feels kind of like the idea of her being in on it was just confirmed completely.
Yeah, that is because it felt like really awkward. Like it felt like very abusive.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you know what I mean, but like this episode even tries to paint Wanda as the villain and the one orchestrating this, as in like when they show her stealing Vision's body, but it's very one-sided, that CCTV.
Do you know what's funny about that? So in the trailers,
yeah, I know what you're talking about,
that we've had, so there's two scenes that stand out really. The first one is Wanda walking out of the bubble, the hex or whatever, and the second one is Wanda inside the room where Vision's body is.
Yeah.
And it's like, what? The scene of so the scene of her walking out, there was a scene pretty much identical of Vision coming out in the trailers.
Yeah.
And then the scene in the rooms, it's like, are we gonna see it in the rooms, or was it just like we got a secondary shot, like the fake Infinity War footage? In the trailers.
Fake Infinity War footage. I haven't seen it, but I know. I think we can know where the one Vision breaks out of. It's at night time. What else does he do at night time? The one with Agnes, the Halloween.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna be that one. That's gonna be that episode.
Is that next episode though?
I think it is 90s. But I just think it's just like and I think I don't know. It's just like You go.
All right, so I think the next episode's definitely going to be the one where it all kind of unravels.
But I'm thinking it's episode 7. I think it's episode 7 because that's when we finish the sitcoms.
I don't know. I feel like it could be. Right. I don't think it's going to be mid-episode.
No, I think it'll be how this episode ends.
Yeah. It'll be the end, because otherwise it just won't work, I guess. Like, it'll feel off if it's too kind of... what will be the word? I guess too kind of there in the forefront,
Yeah, because it's like... I just think it's like... it is going to continue unraveling because I don't think Evan Peters is Quicksilver.
See, I was saying about that. I don't think he is. I think he is Quicksilver, but I don't think he's.
Because if you notice that the sirens went off again, and the only time that the sirens have gone off before is when something breached the perimeter of the hex.
Yeah.
So something either entered or even escaped. So, and also, I also think that the way they could explain it is because you know the adverts, they're all in sequence of her life.
Well,
except for one. Except for the one.
Wanda is, I think she's the younger sister of Pietro.
Yeah, but they're twins, aren't they? So.
They're twins. But it's like, what if this is like some whole new thing?
Yeah.
What if it's like some whole new storyline? It's just the thing is, they've been saying to us in the trailers, like, we don't know what's going to happen and stuff. Now we have no clue what's going to happen.
No, we have no clue. And I'm even convinced, like when Evan Peters knocked on the door, that's when Vision and Wanda were having their argument, and she goes, "I have no idea how this started," knocks on the door.
Well, see, right.
And know how sitcoms work, everything's very literal. So like, oh, who could that be? Oh, it's. Do you know what I mean?
To chuck another comic thing in there, House of M, the big Scarlet Witch changes the universe. Oh wow, that was like all of that. The whole comic, you're led to believe Wanda is the enemy. Wanda is the enemy. At the end, you find out Wanda's not the enemy. You know, Quicksilver basically manipulated her and kind of turned her against everyone. And it's like, I could honestly see that.
Yeah, and how do you think? Because I still think Vision's back after this. I don't think he's still with her. I do not.
You see, there's a funny thing I've been thinking of, though. All right, now, this is kind of like one of the crazy theories that we've been having each episode. So in the comics, Vision is based off of Wonder Man.
Yeah.
Who is kind of he dated Scarlet Witch for a bit.
Yeah.
And this right? What if Paul Bettany plays Wonder Man? So like, we get Wonder Man coming in.
Is Wonder Man the one? Is Wonder Man the concept art behind the writer?
Yep. So what if it is Paul Bettany playing Wonder Man and like Ultron-based Vision on Wonder Man? It makes sense because he had to be based on someone.
House of M's the one where she goes no more mutants, right?
Yeah. So what's she going to say at the end of this? What's she going to do at the end of this?
If that's what they're going to do, they're going to have to sort of. I think I've got a prediction now, and I'll say it here. They clearly said no X-Men in Phase 4. I still believe that. Doesn't mean they can't bring in mutants, right? Because you got to bake in the mutants.
I don't think it's going to be a
not huge
twist.
But I think but we know, and this is them going to use an MCU to bring the mutants in. We know Monica came back from the snap. We knew her body changed because of the snap, right? She went into Hex. She came out. She's now got superpowers, confirmed by this episode.
Yeah, she has superpowers. I mean, I've been saying that since the start.
And we know that this thing is going to have real world implications, as Darcy says. Oh, it's fine for now.
Yeah.
I think that what's going to happen. I always thought this that they're going to use the snap to and I think Wanda's going to assist it in activating the mutant gene.
Well, the thing is, they've been saying about how there's all this like crazy energy, the CMBR or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And that we can kind of assume is somewhat connected to
and all the
Infinity
snap
Stones.
and blip victims potentially could be mutants now. That's what I'm trying to say, because Monica is one of them.
They could be, and then that takes into account too many characters, really. Like from heroes.
Yeah. So it means you could be making Doctor Strange
or Spider-Man a mutant. Like it's just.
Yeah, I mean, I always thought they're gonna. Okay, here's an easy one. Just make it. Oh, it's all the blip and snap victims, but it's like a rare blood type.
That one I could go with.
I think that's the way they're going to bullshit around it, but that doesn't mean mutants have not existed before. It just accelerated, so we can still have a Magneto from the past. So with all like the blood types, like I mean that's how it keeps it small, and you can still have like mutants like from the past. We can still have a Logan from World War II. We can still have all these.
Well, we have so Weapon Plus and Weapon X and all that stuff. You know, the Wolverine, Captain America, all that, Nuke. Those characters, we haven't had any of the ones in between, really, have we? In anything?
No.
So we could easily just say Wolverine is Weapon 10 still, but we have.
Yeah, he was like he's one of the Captain America products.
Yeah, so we have. Right, so I guarantee we're going to get Isaiah Bradley, I think it is, the Black Captain America. The first one, that is, you know, the one, the racist kind of comic one where it was like, we test it on black people because racism. And then I think that's going to happen. So that's going to set up that bit. And then they can go, oh yeah, the program wasn't shut down though. Because obviously Cap went into the ice and it just kept going. And those people can be kind of like the first mutants, I suppose.
There's so much time that they haven't shown. in that time. Look,
Yeah.
look, the MCU sort of stops at 1945 and begins for a short while in the 90s.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So they got loads to show. They have loads, and I just think.
See, there's no reason why you couldn't have Logan, Magneto, Charles Xavier, and a few other characters who were the first kind of mutants from Weapon Plus. I mean,
Yeah. Or unless they just say that like Wanda sends out a radiation blast and it just changes a very rare blood type, because if you notice that like they even show that
Monica has
Monica's clothes are still Kevlar.
That was cool, and I feel like that could come in.
I think that's like say yes you went in, but you went in and came out sort of technically the same, but you are different. Whereas I bet you like people like Betty, Betty Dottie?
Yeah.
They're not going to come out normal.
Yeah.
I think it would be too easy for them to say, and everybody lives happily ever after. There should be lasting consequences for all the people she's messed up.
I don't think that she's going to kill them, because that would just be too
far.
No,
I mean make them like mutants or something like that.
I feel like the mutant thing is, right, when they announced Fantastic Four at the Disney Investors thing, that was like a big one. However, it's kind of like
that'll cap off Phase 4.
See, FF is the team we need. X-Men isn't, because X-Men has been there for literally like years.
Here's what they're gonna do with X-Men. Like, they'll make Wolverine his own character, like very much like the Jackman trilogy. Yeah. And
I wouldn't be surprised if we get characters from the X-Men stories in the MCU.
Oh no, that's gonna happen. That is going to happen in Phase 4. I would not. Aren't they going to Madripoor?
Supposedly, which is like a bit X-Men-y. We could literally get Patch, which is Wolverine with an eye patch.
Yeah.
Literally,
I think like they say no X-Men, no X-Men films. That doesn't mean they can't do X-Men characters before then. But like, I think what they're gonna do is, I do not want them to be crossing over with the Fox universe, because it's like, and I don't think they are. I think people are going to be disappointed with Evan Peters. I think Evan Peters is all too perfect.
He is too much. He is very much like the 80s, like, cool uncle.
So... and this is also another thing about like Evan Peters. She doesn't recognise him at first.
No, she doesn't. It takes a second, and then it's like, oh my god, it's you.
Oh, what's happened here? And she acts as if it's the same. I still think Aaron Taylor Johnson's in this.
Well, yeah, he could. The thing is, the Luke Skywalker cameo they said about, he's the only one.
Is it Evan Peters?
He's the only one who can recount. I swear to God, if it's Evan Peters, that does not count.
That is not. Evan Peters is fine, but it's just like something's off about. I don't even see that as the Fox version.
I don't care unless it becomes important, because it's just. It's not like, Luke Skywalker was like, hey, holy crap, I didn't see that coming. This one,
but I think
we kind of got it leaked, and it's not just because of that, but it's like, it's Evan Peters. It's nothing special. This is not Luke Skywalker.
But that's the thing. I think she was asked about it being Luke Skywalker, big cameo. Is there a cameo of some sort in this? But I wouldn't say this is it. But it doesn't mean it has to be a Luke Skywalker level. But the difference is with this one, the Luke Skywalker one, this one actually might matter.
Yeah.
It's not just mindless fan service. I think I wouldn't say Luke's, but it was. If you watch it, it adds nothing to that character. You could have had any character in that scene, it would not change. It just tickles the nostalgia. Honestly, it's just a nostalgia thing, that was, and it was a shit one.
It doesn't.
If you're going to do something proper,
it doesn't add anything.
No, that didn't add anything. And to be fair, it wasn't the point of the scene, but I just felt like honestly, you would have earned so much more if it was a character we met along the way of Mando.
Mm,
Do you know what I mean?
I mean,
Like if it
yeah,
was like, but the difference is because here's my rant about Mando. Had it been that, what Mando Series 2 did so good is that they introduced characters from Clone Wars and Rebels that they treated them as if they were new characters to the audience because most people hadn't seen, but nothing felt fan servicey, even though it was it would be fan servicey. It was the good kind.
yeah.
But that just felt like you just sort of went against your own sort of mission statement. Do you know what I mean? But I think Evan Peters is definitely going to matter. I just don't think it's going to matter the way people think it will.
The scene,
I
right?
still think
Right. So just looking it up, when Paul Bettany was talking about that, like actor he talked about,
assuming that they're talking about the same person.
yeah, but he said that I've always wanted
That's
to work
the
with this guy, and the scenes are pretty intense. Evan Peters does not seem like the character to be intense, does he?
But then again,
I mean,
I think this series has gone a lot darker than we thought it, like darker than I could have imagined, and more sinister than I can imagine. And isn't he an American Horror Story actor?
He is, but I mean, I just feel like this big actor that Paul Bettany has always wanted to work with, and there's intense scenes. It just feels...
I don't think Magneto is going to be in this. I would think that is such a...
I mean, that would work. That would work, though, wouldn't it? Like,
yeah, but it's the thing. He's worked with Ian McKellen, so it can't be Ian McKellen.
Michael Fassbender.
That's what's another thing. I don't want them to cross over the Fox universe. If you want to, I don't know, because I think if you're really going to do Magneto and Charles and all that warfare, you're going to have to do it again fresh.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a bit too messy. I mean, at least with Evan Peters, it's as clean as you can go.
I just feel like they need to do something.
I don't know. I mean, what if it is Mephisto? I think it is Mephisto, even though Ultron could be potentially. I still think Ultron's got a good chance of coming back. Like James Spader and James Spader could easily be like a mess. Like at the beginning of Fallout, about that Vault Tech guy who comes to your door.
Yeah.
That could easily be James Spader.
Oh yeah. But it's just the problem of James Spader needs to be Ultron. Otherwise people would be like, who's he? And I know that people know who James Spader is, but you can't just chuck a character.
It depends how they do it. If he just goes all static in face and his face lights up, I think people will get the message. Like in The World's End.
If he was to do he's James Spader and then he kind of breaks and becomes Ultron, that would work. But you'd have to show Ultron, I think.
Here is if we're talking about Luke Skywalker, this is gonna be the thing that's tweeted about. This is gonna be like, oh my god, what the fuck has just happened? Hugh Jackman.
I mean,
that's the only one. That's the only one.
It's not the only one though.
No, it's not the only one. But I don't see Tony Stark.
No. But that doesn't work because Paul Bettany's whole thing is it's an actor he hasn't worked with. So it can't just be... I don't think so, but it can't just be like, oh yeah, it's Tony Stark.
I didn't mean it's Wolverine. I didn't mean it's Wolverine.
You think it's Wolverine?
No, I meant it's Mephisto.
Oh, as Mephisto?
Yeah, he would be perfect.
Yeah, he actually would be.
I think he would be more up for that because I think the whole thing with the whole Wolverine deal is he played him for quite a while, and the physical toll it's taken on him, he just thought no more. That's a lot of the reason why he said goodbye to it. I think if he was to do something again, I think it'd be something more like this, a bit like Christian Bale.
Well, because he's still in shape, so he's not
and
fat.
And knowing he can do the Madman thing, and just I
don't know. I feel like he would be probably against.
Oh no, he's worked with him. It's fine. No, it's not. It can't be Hugh Jackman.
Yeah. Right, and
But
we know he hasn't worked with Evan Peters, but Elizabeth Olsen and him must know that Evan Peters, like, that was kind of leaked. So I don't think
yeah.
I don't think they're referring to him. Like, if the showrunner came
Okay,
out,
it could be Evan Peters. It could be Evan
it
Peters,
could
but
be.
then has Evan Peters done anything other than American Horror Story?
Yeah, but that's all
Yeah,
he's really
obviously
known
he
for.
has, but has he done anything more like, oh, I want to...
Evan Peters and what's his name? I've forgotten his name now. Paul Bettany, yeah. I just don't think he's been in anything with him.
That's no disrespect to Evan Peters. I just feel like I think I'd be pretty disappointed if it's just Evan Peters, and depending on what they do. But I don't think Evan Peters is just playing Quicksilver. I think Evan Peters may be whoever Mephisto is. If Evan Peters is Mephisto, do you know what I mean?
So,
because I feel like Evan Peters, they got him because he was still on contract with Fox, and they found an easy way to still use him.
So, right,
and this is it.
There are apparently screenshots, set photos of Evan Peters ages ago.
Oh yeah, I mean Evan Peters has been known for a while. I think. It's good that it's Evan Peters. I just feel like there has to be one more like killer, because they can get two more. They can get we're getting really low now. Like 2 more people on that cast.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
That's with every.
Okay, I've just found another one. IndieWire. Okay. They're saying about, so basically it's Paul Bettany, and he's saying about how it's not been leaked yet.
And Evan Peters was.
So many things get leaked, but there's this thing that has been completely under wrap that happens. And he talks about then he talks about the actor, and it's a guy. This guy. So
the kid from Color Out of Space was Billy Maximoff.
Was he?
Yeah. So I
thought I recognised him too. I didn't get it though.
But no, I feel like
maybe there's a connection. Maybe it's the colour in space.
Yeah. No, I feel like that. Is it again? Like we said about episode 4. Look how many things episode 4 didn't answer questions; it addressed questions.
Yeah.
If this is the big plot twist of this season, you did it episode 5. You have 4 more left. You've still got a few more cards up your sleeve, and we know we've got like, once we get to like episode 6, we've only watched like 3 hours.
I think
just under 3 hours.
I think they're going to be massively surprised by the end of the show.
I still think we will, and that's the thing. If they stick the landing, which I do think they've got a good shot at doing, even with Evan Peters, which is a risky thing that they're doing. I do think this will be the best thing that they have done.
It's just so it's so out there right now. We don't have any idea what's going to happen next episode.
No.
The only thing we know about next episode is Evan Peters is in
90s. And 90s, and I think it is the Halloween episode.
And yeah, so
I think anything, and that's all the footage gone. That's all the footage from this series.
I think, yeah, because they said about how much special effects they've had to use. They've not had to use that many yet. To be fair, realistically,
no, I love them being practical.
Yeah, a lot of them have been for sword and the outside stuff, really.
Yeah,
because a lot of the stuff doesn't really. It's like practical effects because it's like, oh, we need it to look like Bewitched or something like that. I think
is that her final costume when she came out of the
No, it's no. She's having she has like a proper Scarlet Witch outfit in the promo thing, doesn't she?
Yeah, because I think that might have been the Infinity War. Because so she's clearly wearing that inside there. No. I think she does have a proper Scarlet Witch thing.
So I think my theory is, so we have this episode. We have Monica saying about she needs the fallout shelter on wheels. Yeah. And she talks about calling somebody. then we have a
That could be it.
that could be it as well, you know. But the thing is, there's no character that would work apart from like. Actually, it's no one.
They've cast Reed Richards.
No, but that just wouldn't work because it'd be like, oh right, I've called in some aerospace engineer. It's Reed Richards. It'd be like, what the hell? Like, why did you just do that to him? I do feel like it'd be like Blue Marvel or someone. So, you know, a very relevant character to like for her character because they literally dated in the comics. So, yeah, they are connected. Yeah. But I think in the armored shelter thing is going to be Darcy, Jimmy, and her, and then they're going to get in.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I think I said last week about the posters for Jimmy and Darcy, and there's one of the TVs has a different, like a decaded, not decaded. What am I? Fuck am I about? An old outfit, you know. Like Jimmy's got a leather jacket and she's got some weird top on. I think they're going to make it in.
Probably. Yeah.
And then we're going to have a bit of a showdown.
Yeah.
But
anyway.
Yeah. I think that'll probably do it for this episode.
Yeah, it was a good episode.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to where it goes. But it's just like the power dynamic keeps shifting each episode about who's good, who's bad, who isn't, who is. Do you know what I mean? And it's interesting to watch.
It's an interesting program that is keeping me interested each week.
Yeah, it would have been a terrible film, but
oh yeah, it would have been awful because it wouldn't have worked.
But it's this TV series that makes me think that they are justifying why the TV series are TV series and the films are the films.
You say that, but that's the worry that I have about Falcon Winter Soldier. Like,
yeah, because at the moment that could have easily been a film.
At the moment, we don't know what's happening because it could be very it could be quite episodic in some parts, couldn't it? Weirdly.
Yeah, but then that's probably how they marketed it as well. Like, Falcon Winter Soldier can be more straightforward, which is sort of sad.
And it's shorter, isn't it? It's 6 episodes, isn't it?
6 episodes, but they're still going to equal the same amount of time.
Oh.
So yeah.
Anyway, I think that that
was a good one.
We'll see. Maybe we'll get some more stuff tonight, seeing as it's the Super Bowl. So who knows?
Yeah.
Well, tomorrow for us, anyway. And that'll do it for this episode. See you next week for episode 6 of WandaVision. Go watch Today in Film podcast and subscribe and stuff.